On today's show,
Houston Rockets All-Star James Harden says he's the NBA's best point guard. Is he right?
so many questions. Is OKC a legitimate contender? Who's to blame in New York? And will robots replace us?
And Trey Kirby talks to Bulls center Robin Lopez about superheroes and supervillains.
It's Wednesday, November 9th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Millis.
We're still in the air.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
And last, certainly not least, filling in for Trey Kirby today, it is Walter, the water cooler guy.
Hey, buddy!
Hey, buddy!
That guy you work with, Trey, asked me to come up here and talk to you guys about Twitter, and that's fine with me. Because today I was looking at the Bulls Twitter page, and I think I saw that Trey guy talking to Robin Lopez down at Phillips Arena. He looks like he's dressed like some sort of superhero. I'm sure we'll see what that's all about later, but Trey passed down one piece of information. He wants me to ask everybody out there, which superhero would be the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft? For me personally, I'm going with Nightcrawler. This is a guards league, and his ability to be in front of you 1 second, behind you the next, he's just going to be unstoppable, like a super Allen Iverson. But I'm sure you guys would like to hear from the fans out there.
We would.
So they can use hashtag
The Starters.
Hashtag the starter. Send in your answers. What superhero should be the #1 overall draft pick? We'll see your guys' answers and probably Robin Lopez's a little bit later.
Are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter,
Yeah?
at Walter, the water cooler guy.
Okay, well, you can follow Walter as well. Yeah, we got a fun show. We will see Trey talking to Robin Lopez about superheroes and a whole lot more. And Tass and I will go head-to-head in Crossfire, staple here on Wednesday. But let's go back to Walter, because he usually has some hot NBA takes
Oh, yeah.
that you've either come up by yourself or, I guess, heard around the office. So what do you have for us?
Well, guys, to be honest with you, it has been a crazy month for the HR department. Open enrollment is killing me. But me and Sally and Asha were talking the other day, and they told me that everybody has been telling them that James Harden is the best point guard in the league. I'm in. You guys in?
James Harden's
best.
in on that.
Oh, he's in.
Yeah, so he says he's the best. If we're talking about the best, likely the best point guard in the world, I can't give him that title. He has been incredible, but the best point guard in the world would inspire his team to play better defense. He'd be a part of that better defense.
Okay.
He would make sure that his team comes on the floor and runs the show on the defensive end. They've got the fourth worst defense. I also think the best point guard probably would have made it work with Dwight Howard last year, because wouldn't Dwight Howard make this a better defensive team?
If it's not James Harden, though, who's leading the league in assists, is also throwing in
That's
30
a number.
points per game. I know.
Rajon Rondo led the league in assists last
Fair
year. He's
enough.
been incredible.
I'm saying, if it's not Harden, who is it then?
I think it's Chris Paul for me.
Wow. Wow.
An overall package is obviously Steph and Russ and James Harden.
There's a lot to pick from.
But he just runs the show a tiny bit better. And I don't want to get into the conversation about pure point guard versus scoring point guard. Chris just does it all.
He might be sort of more the old-fashioned point guard, does it all, gets his players involved, but Steph Curry is still the best point guard in the NBA. He's a two-time MVP. He's taken his team to the finals the last 2 years, and they won the championship in the year before.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Oh, that guy,
when it
let me
comes-
tell you, he loves water. Got that Brita deal?
He does love water.
You are
Loves
what you
it,
drink,
loves
I
it.
heard him say that
Yeah,
once.
that's right.
No, but the thing is, a leader doesn't have to be a guy who just goes out there and gets assists for his team or plays the best defense. Does he inspire his guys? And Steph Curry does that. And also, right now, James Harden, this is probably the deepest position in the NBA. There are so many top quality point guards every single night, just about. You're going up against whether it's an experienced guy like James Harden or some of these young guys. Even Emmanuel Mudiay started off the season really well. So Harden is in that conversation, but I don't think he's the best in the league.
Well, look, I don't know if there's a player more important to his team than James Harden.
Yeah.
That might be fair. He's got an unbelievable usage rate. I know Westbrook's up there at the top of the charts, but James Harden, 34% usage rate. That's higher than LeBron's ever had in his career, just to put that in perspective.
Right.
Which is crazy. But look what he's done over the last 4 games. 30-plus points, 10-plus assists. This is James. Anytime you're on a board with Michael Jordan, you're doing something pretty impressive. I agree. I don't think I have Harden as my #1 point guard, because really, is he even a point guard? It's like what we're doing with bigs. Who's a forward, who's a center? We're starting to do that with guards now. It's like this positional revolution that's been going on for years.
Yeah, according to D'Antoni, he's
I know.
a point guard. So
And is a point guard the guy that just has the ball in his hands the most?
yeah, I mean,
Then
runs
it
the
absolutely
offense.
is James Harden. But it's impressive.
These numbers are shiny and flashy and great, but two things: can he keep it up at this rate? And will the Rockets win enough games?
And
that's
then,
really
and
what
then
it
Cass
comes
throws
down
in
to.
defensive issues
Yeah,
as well.
I just think if he traded in a little bit of that offense to play some more defense, I think they'd be a far better team. They got the
Okay.
fourth best offense and the fourth worst defense. You got to figure out a balance, and I think that little bit of trade-off in the offensive end would help him out. Because if he's leading, up there in usage rate, why isn't the team playing hard around him defensively? Why aren't they playing hard? I know they don't have the prototypical defensive guys on that team, but still, you've got enough talent. You're resting while watching James Harden isolate. He's way up there in isolation percentage. They're just not good enough. And a leader leads. He's got to get better at that.
I'm definitely not going to knock him for saying he's the best point guard or
everyone says
player,
it.
because
Yeah.
when you're at that level, you
Yeah.
should think that, and rightfully so. All right, back to Walter.
You guys know Art and Keith from Studios, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
guys. Anyways.
They owe me money.
Yeah, that's the main problem with those guys. Let me tell you. But anyways, they convinced me that this year, the Oklahoma City Thunder are legit title contenders. Legit. You guys in on this? Get in early.
No.
You want to get in early on this?
No,
one.
I do
hear
not.
the
You're gonna
word
want to get in
legit.
early, my man.
People saying legit around the water cooler all the time.
Oh man,
No,
it's
this-
legit.
People cannot get their expectations right with this team. Because coming into the season, they lose Kevin Durant. Everyone's like, oh, well, that's it. They're not going to make the playoffs. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people, oh, they're going to take a huge step back. They won't even be near the playoffs. They were wrong about that. They overreacted. And now they've started 6-1, top of the West there with the Clippers. They look great. They defensively look solid at least. And people are going, oh, now they're a title contender. Like, scale it back. I mean, they can be a good possible playoff team that very, very likely would get bounced in the first round if they take on one of the top teams. And there's nothing wrong with that.
They've had a fairly soft schedule too to start
Yeah.
with. Even though that win over
But
the
I still
Clippers,
think they're a possible playoff team.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the playoffs are well within reach for them. But a title contender, I think we need to see just more from this team. We need 30 or 40 games because then we're only going to really see the impact that Russell Westbrook can have on this team when it's his team solely. Right now, I think there's a little bit of emotion, a bit of energy because he wants to prove to everyone that he's not missing Kevin Durant and he can still carry this team. But until you get into that grind of the season where the games come thick and fast, you're on the road, you've got a long road trip, that's when we're going to really see what the Thunder are made of.
The games come thick and fast.
They do. They do.
Just like that mustache coming in here. Look at that stash.
Look at that. That was a thick and fast camera move. You talk about James Harden. Stop looking at me like
I
that.
can't help it. You want to get one of these, don't you?
No.
You easily could. Yeah.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
not easily.
I got it. I got it all.
Okay.
Is this mustache a point guard or is it a center?
It's a stretch five.
It's just a beard.
See,
I
it's a
think.
bit.
It's
It's
just
like
a beard.
James Harden. It's got
Call
its
me
strengths.
Finn?
It's got its strength, and then it's got its sort of weaknesses there on the side. You need to sort of grow it out, make it a bit more even.
Okay,
Right.
wait,
Maybe
wait,
you're right.
We're
But
off
anyways,
the rail. This is just.
yeah, let's go back to water cooler,
That
guys.
sounds like the water cooler to me. But anyways, I brought my wife, Mrs. Cooler, to the office the other day. Was showing her some of my favorite water spots. Ran into my boy, the Doiner, on the 4th floor. You guys know the Doiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guy, huge Hawks fan. You know what he said? Forget KD. Dwight Howard has been the best signing of the offseason. It's bold, but that's the Doiner.
Wow.
Doiner's always doing that with his hand. Forget KD.
What do you think?
I think Dwight Howard has
right.
learned his role, has learned his spot in the NBA. He's actually not.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Walter, we gotta get Trey
whoa.
back, man.
What's in that
Hey,
water?
man, you drink a lot of water. Something's going to go down the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Dwight Howard's not trying to do too much, and that's the point. This part of his career, it has shown Dwight that he doesn't need to be that typical scorer. He's not
You said
complaining.
this task, and I got to give you credit, man. You said this coming into the season. You said it in our preseason shows that you thought Dwight would get back to playing more of a role at this stage in his career and trying to redeem himself, of course, after a couple bad stints in LA and Houston. You called it, and so far you were absolutely right. He's playing defense, and he's rebounding, and he's not really given. He doesn't care all that much if he's getting all these touches because it's not much different than last year, right?
No,
Last
7
year-
games and we're good.
Last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers, when he was on the court, the Cavs did not go into the paint. As soon as he sat down, LeBron, Kyrie, they just drove straight inside. So he's got that presence about him, which is what he was like in his MVP runner-up year in 2009. When he's out there, guys are like, I'm not even going to bother.
Better than KD though. The signing. Back to
right
Walter.
right now.
Oh, wow.
Come on. No,
Wow.
No. The Hawks are.
No, okay.
No.
Fair enough. All right.
Oh man, what
Walter,
happened? Yeah,
thanks
this segment
for
fell apart.
stopping by. Holy moly.
What a talk.
Feels like a Friday. It's not. Everyone was up late last night. When we come back, Crossfire.
Welcome to Crossfire. This is how it works. Trey will give Skeets and me 3 topics. We'll debate each one. And at the end, Trey will declare an arbitrary winner. Trey, what's topic
All
number
right,
1?
round 1, super team, more like pooper team.
Nailed it.
You called it, Skeets. The Knicks are 2-4. People are already questioning their offense, defense, and basically everything else associated with the franchise. What's to blame for the Knicks' slow start? Here we go!
You said it. There's a lot to pick from, but I think you gotta go with the Knicks defense, which is non-existent. It's the worst defense in the league. You can't stop anyone. You can't win games. They were average last year. That's the crazy part. But really, they haven't had a good defense since Jeff Van Gundy left. Since he was playing defense on Alonzo Mourning's leg. I mean, they had like one above average defense. I think it was in a shortened season. I think it's the defense. Like, it's brutal. It's brutal. You gotta stop, guys.
I heard it is half of the game. But
Yeah.
you can't have good defense if you don't have good leadership.
Okay.
If they're not together off the court, I don't see how they can get together on the
What do
court.
you want them going bowling together?
No. How about not throwing their coach under the bus from the get-go?
Okay.
They're already talking about the scheme and the triangle. After one game, Derrick Rose was complaining about it. Forget about one game. In the preseason, they were talking about it. They haven't made the playoffs in 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe let's give it a shot. And they're not even playing the triangle. Experts, not us, real actual best basketball experts are saying they play the triangle a handful of possessions a game. Let's stop talking about triangle and work their butts off a little
I
bit.
will
They're just
say,
not together.
not to be a Knicks apologist, but they've had a tough schedule. They have had a tough schedule through the first 6 games. Let's find out when they play some of these bottom-dwelling teams if they can beat them.
You sound exactly like a Knicks apologist,
Yeah.
but we're going to round 2,
Yeah.
and we talk about the Warriors, Cavs, Pelicans, and Knicks basically every other day around here. Give me one team that no one's talking about. Here we go!
No one is talking about the Denver Nuggets whatsoever. I haven't heard a little Bo Peep about them. They are 3-4, but they played one game at home this season. One game where they have a great advantage. It's great that they're 3-4 for this young team. They just came off a 2-3 road trip. They could have won games on it. They've had 3 losses combined by 6 points. I understand you might want to see some wins from this organization starting to come up because they were a young team last year as well. At the same time, they're on the precipice of the playoff picture. They're right there. 3-4 with one home game is great for them.
Is that a Kenneth Farid in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Look at that. Go get it there. Yeah, look.
Oh, he's falling.
I think it's the Charlotte Hornets. We don't talk about the Hornets at all, and they're the 4th best team in the league right now. You heard me. The league, not the Eastern Conference. The league. They're 5-1. Yes, they've had an easy schedule, but the good news is they look really similar to that 48-win team last year. It's all defense, and Kemba Walker has actually even gotten better, averaging nearly 24 or just a shade over 24 points per game. So I think it's the Hornets. We've never talked about them on the show, but we just did. So there you go.
That's exactly right. Final round, round 3. Last week, Mavs owner Mark Cuban revoked credentials for ESPN reporters Mark Stein and Tim McMahon, citing the rise of robotic reporting as one of the main reasons why. I need you guys to be serious here for a minute and tell me, are you worried a robot will replace you? Here we go!
Absolutely. Have you watched Westworld?
No.
Have you seen the Eric Andre show?
Oh, yeah.
Hannibal Buress, yeah, you definitely watched the Eric Andre show. Yeah, I think a robot could easily take
Think
our
it's
job.
going to happen?
How hard is my job? Good evening, sweet world. Basketball. Devin Booker's awesome. Go Raptors. Embrace the day. It's simple. I mean, you can program that very easily. Yeah,
Can a
I'm worried.
robot do this?
Yes.
Can a robot do this?
Westworld.
No. Listen, artificial intelligence, it hasn't progressed to be able to duplicate a brain. Listen, we have seen in the past, actually, NBA failures with robots. Last year, the Sacramento Kings said this robot would be taking care of parking infractions. and
This is a
tickets.
robot?
No, yeah. No, just hang loose for a second here, Skeets. That robot is supposed to take care of parking problems. It doesn't. Nightman can't even do that. Nightman can't even do that. We haven't heard about it since. It probably caused some problem. It probably got into somebody's car, broke a window, and they've since disposed of it.
You need to be
If it
worried
can't-
about robots.
Not at
You
all.
need to be worried about robots.
Our winner tonight is Skeets!
Yes!
I agree, you gotta be worried about robots. You never know, they're coming for us.
Absolutely. Huge win. Thank you, guys. We gotta take a break. Lots more still to come. Human or robot, you decide. When we come back, Trey Kirby, dressed as a superhero, talks superheroes with Bulls center Robin Lopez. This is a blast. Come on back. Welcome back to the starters. TK, Trey Kirby, down at the Fortress today here in Atlanta, where you had a chance to wear your Robin Halloween costume for the second time in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Bulls are in town, so I had to go. You don't often get a chance to show off your Halloween costume to the person you dressed up as, and since Robin Lopez loves superheroes to begin with, we had a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? I'm here with the NBA's biggest superhero fan, Robin Lopez of the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, this is a bit of it's kind of a bit of wish fulfillment right now. You know, seeing a reflection of myself dressed as Robin the Boy Wonder. You know, I can't help but be a little thrilled.
Do you have a favorite Robin in the history of Batman? I'm personally a Chris O'Donnell guy.
If we're talking actors, that's gonna be. I'm gonna have to go with Burt Ward.
Okay, the OG.
Yeah.
All right, your brother Brooke, obviously also a superhero fan. Which one of you two is the evil twin?
Oh, without question, Brooke is.
If there's anybody in the NBA who is a secret X-Man, who would it be?
I think it's got to be the Greek Freak. You see the things he does out there, and you know, it's him or LeBron, one of them.
Yeah, it seems like they would probably have different mutations. Maybe on one side, LeBron's got the super strength, but on the other side, Giannis has the super stretchiness.
Precisely.
I've heard that your favorite villain is Lex Luthor. So if you're Superman, who is your Lex Luthor?
I'm gonna have to go with Ryan Anderson. You know, I like to play in the paint. He's around the perimeter all the time. I'm from Stanford. He's from Cal Berkeley, and you know he's got that supervillain goatee and occasionally the supervillain mustache. I'm not sure if you've seen it. When you're so clean cut in your facial grooming habits, I think that says something about you're a very controlling person, aren't you?
We all know about your beefs with various mascots throughout the league. If there was one mascot you could unmask, who would it be?
Clutch.
Why Clutch?
Without hesitation, Clutch. You know, I think there's something beyond that adorable teddy bear facade that he's put on for so long.
In an alternate universe, you're the Bulls GM and every superhero is available for the NBA draft. Who are you taking number one?
Who am I taking number one? It's a toss-up between the Flash because he can be all over the floor at once, and Batman because he cheats.
Because he cheats, you think that's something admirable for the children?
Let me rephrase that. He does a wonderful job of controlling every aspect of the game.
The diabolical mayor, Ted Joyberg, has kidnapped your teammate Dwayne Wade and your cat Prince Edward, and he's holding them hostage in 2 tanks that are slowly filling with water. You can only save one of them. Who are you saving and why?
Oh, I don't have to choose because I'm gonna bring my anti-tank repellent, right?
You've thought of everything. Robin Lopez, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. Who is you?
You know, I couldn't have a bigger honor of having this interview with me.
Unbelievable
Great
stuff.
Really
That
good
guy's
stuff.
awesome, man.
What? I'm still confused by the anti-tank repellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Did he
you know, in like
explain
the
that?
1960s Batman, kind of, they had an anti-something repellent
Shock.
for anything they could encounter. So I guess anti-tank repellent, maybe that's a thing.
And that
Yeah.
was, I assume, his real cat, Prince Edward?
Yeah, Prince Edward Zephyr, I believe is his full name. He's very playful, but he gets into some hijinks.
Unbelievable, Trey. Great stuff. Thanks to Robin and the Bulls for that. We got to take a break. When we come back, though, Lely's very solid play and another look at his mustache. That thick and fast mustache.
Mustache.
I've got anti-mustache repellent.
Welcome back to the starters. Earlier in the show, Walter, the water cooler guy, asked you on Twitter which superhero would be the #1 overall pick. You guys have chimed in. Hashtag the starters as you always do. Trey, you got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, this one comes from Fanlord, who says Spudderman, which I guess is Spider-Man and Spud Web combined. He can fling his web at you and freeze you to go by for the dunk. Not bad. I've seen the professor dressed as Spider-Man playing basketball. He's actually great.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Matthew says Hawkeye would be the best. He just can't seem to miss. That's what our comic book nerd Lee Mabry suggested as well.
Please, call him by his real name.
Chicken Sandwich.
Yeah.
He wants Hawkeye in there. And RA says the Hulk. He can jump out of the gym, and he's too strong for anyone to contain down low. If you're going for size, you can't beat the Hulk.
Yeah, but he might have a bit of problem with discipline. Might get a few tech
Oh,
fouls.
like
Real
Cousins.
boogie Cousins.
Like Cousins,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, a look at last night's picks. Wow, I am on a winning streak. Look out, here I come.
Is a streak 2 game, Skeets?
Right now it
It
is.
is
yeah.
when it comes to me and pick 'em payoff. Yeah, it absolutely is. This all means something. Whoever's in last place at the end of November has to do something weird on the show. We call it the pick 'em payoff. We've had a lot of fun over the last couple of years. Well, you guys have. Yeah, I've vomited and had snakes on me, so it hasn't been that much fun. But tonight's picks, I'm coming back. Oh man, tonight's game is Celtics-Wizards, and we're all taking Boston on the road.
Green like the Hulk.
Good luck to the Celtics, I guess. Lee, where are we going for your very solid play, mate?
Heading out to Cleveland for a fizzer from the Cavs. And it starts with LeBron firing this one down to Channing Frye, out to Mikey Dunleavy, over to Richard Jefferson, who just knocks in the nice three ball. Remember, Richard Jefferson had the quickest retirement ever this summer. And he's back and he's knocking down trays, and that's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid play, very solid thumbs, very solid mustache.
Oh,
Again?
yeah.
That's coming in nice.
Yesterday is the first day I really noticed it was popping. Today, even better.
Who's your inspiration right now with this look?
Mervyn Hughes, former Australian cricketer, and David Boone,
Okay.
former Australian batsman.
Guys, Lee's doing this for a good cause. Movember.com, search for Lee Ellis. Any donation you can give really helps, and we really appreciate it. It goes to Men's Health.
Now it's time for the highlight that wasn't just because a play wasn't converted, doesn't mean it wasn't beautiful. CJ McCollum with a gorgeous pass into the corner.
Whoa!
What a slinger. This Blazers backcourt is doing a lot of good things.
Oh, that's
Noah
nice.
Vonleh couldn't convert.
What do you think, Taz? Too open?
Maybe he was too open. Thanks to Richard Sire on Twitter for sending that in, alerting me to that. Win on League Pass. I was very pleased. Now it's time for the thing we'd really like to squeeze in here. We're just shoving things into this show. We're shoving a wedgie
What?
into this show. An almost wedgie. Everybody out there was tweeting this. This is from Monday night, saying, oh, he had a wedgie. It was after the whistle. The shot was completely after the whistle. You can't call it a wedgie. So we're only at 7 wedgies. Appreciate all those tweets, though.
And we have a fan sign, Lee.
Comes from Sheena and her husband from Alberta in Toronto for a game. Tons of detail on that. I'm not going to go through it all right now, but go and check it out on our Facebook page. And I love fan sign season, so if you've got one, send it in to us and you might get on the show.
You got a fan sign, send it in. You see a wedgie, let us know. Hashtag the starters.
Don't worry, you've slowed down.
Yeah, we'll check the tape. Don't worry. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Huge games on night. 11 games on the schedule. Raps, Thunder, Bulls, Hawks, Blazers, Clippers. So there's some really good ones. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern here to recap as many as possible.
All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, if you're working out but you're not getting ripped, I mean, what's the point?
Brace the night, people.